So in the last year, Paddletek has found a formula for a high performance paddle, and it's working. So Paddletek's launched a whole line of made in America raw carbon fiber paddles that has an option for almost every type of player. So the question is, where is the gap? Trending in the paddle world right now is the wide body paddle build with an extended handle that offers the forgiveness and stability of a wider face with the ability to comfortably fit two hands on the grip. Add these together with the powerful Paddletek Bantam core and a raw carbon fiber surface, and you get the all-new Bantam ESQ-C, also known as the Esquire. So the Esquire is the signature paddle of touring pro Andrea Koop. She's known for being incredibly consistent, a great defensive player, and just makes some of the best decisions on court, really high on-court IQ. And what I find really cool is, unlike some signature paddle models in the industry, Paddletek actually worked really closely with Andrea to design the perfect paddle for her game through multiple prototypes. And ultimately we ended up with this. She actually plays with the 14.3 millimeter model, a little bit more control, which lines up perfectly with her game. Fun fact, aside from being a pickleball pro, Andrea Koop is also a lawyer that, in addition to being a sponsored player for Paddletek, served as their legal counsel for some time, hence the paddle being named the Esquire. The Esquire has an extended 5.5-inch handle, an overall length just shy of 16 inches, and an 8-inch wide base, putting the build right on the cusp of being classified as a wide body paddle. The wider shape stretches the sweet spot laterally, and being shorter, the paddle becomes more easy to maneuver. The dimensions of the Esquire definitely give it a unique aesthetic, and it looks a lot like a pizza peel, if I'm being honest. Like the rest of the Bantam line, the Esquire features a powerful core, and players can choose from the thinner, more powerful 12.7 millimeter core or the more all-court performing 14.3 millimeter option. The face of the paddle features a highly textured made in America raw carbon fiber with a layer of fiberglass underneath they call the fiberglass substrate that, working together with the core, creates that characteristic pop and lively feel on contact the Bantam series is known for. Both thicknesses feature Paddletek's steel perimeter weighting at the 3 and 9 positions on the paddle that boosts the ESQ-C to a high twist weight that gives players more forgiveness when they hit the ball off center. The low to moderate swing weights of both thicknesses make the Esquire maneuverable enough to get into position quickly, making the paddle a blocking and counterattacking machine. A note on build quality here. One of my biggest pet peeves is opening a new paddle and it having either less grit than the paddle I had before that was exactly like it, or the two sides being noticeably different grit levels. So far, my experience with the entire carbon Paddletek line has been one of consistency from face to face and product to product, and I so appreciate that, and I know a lot of you out there will as well. So, as a huge fan myself of the rest of the carbon lineup from Paddletek and wide body paddles in general, I was stoked to get these on court, and they did not disappoint. The Esquire let me shape my serves and drives aggressively, and I could confidently swing out knowing the ball was going to bend back into the court. With such a poppy core and the face layer build, both thicknesses of the Esquire bring the heat when you want it for sure. One of my favorite things about using such a wide face is that on a typical topspin stroke, you get more surface area to work with when you brush the ball. And while I had some mishits off the top of the paddle, getting used to the shorter shape, I rarely mishit the ball laterally. On drops and dinks, there's plenty of spin available, but I found I really had to be on my game with paddle face angle and swing path to make sure I created the right amount of compression to place the ball accurately. Especially with the thinner 12.7 millimeter model, I found I had to fully commit to any shot where I was brushing the ball to avoid either missing high or in the bottom of the net. The 14.3 model wasn't effortless, but I didn't have to be quite as locked in to avoid those mistakes. Now, to adjust to this when I was out of position or off balance, instead of attempting higher risk, aggressive topspin drives or dinks, I chose to hit a more flat, dead ball to get the ball back in play and recover for the next shot. With such a powerful core, it's understandable that touch shots do take a little bit more skill to execute. So Andrea Koop helped design the Esquire, so you better believe it's a defensive powerhouse. The paddle's stability made me confident in my resets once I dialed in the pop off the face. And because it has such good pop, you really don't need to do much outside of positioning the paddle correctly to put the ball back in play. Where that pop really came in handy though was on counterattacks, and paired with the maneuverability the paddle offers, I really felt like my hand speed was through the roof. So the stats of the Esquire are incredibly similar to the stats of the ALW-C. I was actually surprised when I heard about the Esquire launching, how similar they were going to be. And I know a ton of players are gonna wonder, which one is gonna be the right for me? How do they play differently? And have trouble deciding between the two. The ALW-C comes in slightly more powerful and a touch longer, making it more of a true standard shaped option that's more offensively tuned than the Esquire. Now it's subtle, but drive, serves, and putaways felt more solid with the ALW thanks to the extra length and plow through. The Esquire is still a powerful paddle, but the shape and build lends it more to defensive play. The main difference on paper though is handle length. And while the Esquire wins out on that competition at 5.5 inches, the updated ALW has a usable 5.3 inches, which is enough for most players to fit 2 hands on the paddle comfortably. But if a longer handle matters to you, the Esquire takes the cake on this one. The Esquire is a defensive weapon that has enough pop to put pressure on your opponents from the baseline, but really comes alive once you make it to the kitchen. Players who want more pop and customizability should go with the 12.7mm model, but please be open to adding some tungsten weighted tape to boost the stability a bit to get your best performance. Most players, including Andrea Koop, will get their best play with the 14.3mm model out of the box, as it offers that extra forgiveness those of us who miss the center of the paddle often need. Thanks so much for watching. We are hoping to make more videos like this, so if there's another paddle or something you'd like to see us improve with these reviews, it would be a huge help if you could leave those suggestions down below in the comments. You can check out the all-new Esquire and the rest of the Paddletek lineup over at pickleballcentral.com.